The first time Liam tried to run 10 miles without stopping, he made it to mile 7 before his legs staged a protest. They felt like lead, and by the time he stumbled back into his apartment, his thighs and calves burned in a way he'd never experienced. He collapsed on the couch, certain he'd earned at least a week of soreness. The next morning confirmed it. Getting out of bed was an ordeal. Even walking to the kitchen felt like climbing a mountain. As he sipped his coffee, he remembered something his uncle, a former marathoner, had told him. You don't get stronger during the workout. You get stronger during the recovery. Liam had been relying on protein bars and sports drinks to bounce back from runs, but that advice sent him digging deeper. He wanted to know what real natural foods could help him recover faster. He started asking questions at the local co-op, reading nutrition blogs, and talking to anyone who seemed to know about sports recovery. That's when he met Maria, a registered dietitian who worked with endurance athletes. She told him recovery wasn't just about protein. It was about replenishing glycogen stores, reducing inflammation, and supporting muscle repair with nutrient-dense foods. Think whole foods first, she said. Nature already gives you what you need. She handed him a handwritten list. The first item was salmon. Why salmon? He asked. Omega-3 fatty acids, she said. They help reduce inflammation in sore muscles. Plus, it's high-quality protein. That night, Liam grilled a filet with lemon and dill, serving it alongside roasted sweet potatoes, another item on Maria's list. Sweet potatoes, she explained, were rich in complex carbs and potassium, perfect for refueling muscles and preventing cramps. Within days, he noticed something. The lingering ache in his legs faded faster than usual. His next run didn't feel like punishment. It felt like progress. Maria's second recommendation was eggs, a simple, unprocessed protein source loaded with amino acids. He started eating scrambled eggs with spinach after morning workouts. The greens added magnesium and vitamin K, both important for muscle and bone health. Then came cherries, specifically tart cherries. These are anti-inflammatory powerhouses, Maria said. Liam started blending tart cherry juice into smoothies. The taste was tangy and bold, and within a couple of weeks he swore his post-run stiffness was less severe. Bananas were next. They weren't exotic or trendy, but they were quick, portable, and loaded with potassium to restore electrolyte balance. He began carrying one in his running bag for that crucial snack right after a long run. The fifth food on the list surprised him, Greek yogurt. He'd always thought of it as a breakfast item, but Maria pointed out its perfect combination of protein for repair and carbohydrates for energy. She suggested topping it with berries for antioxidants and a drizzle of honey for natural sugars. One Saturday after a particularly grueling training run, Liam made a bowl of Greek yogurt with blueberries, honey, and a sprinkle of walnuts. The walnuts, high in healthy fats, were another natural recovery booster she had mentioned. He also learned about leafy greens, not just spinach, but kale, arugula, and Swiss chard. Their vitamins and minerals help combat oxidative stress from intense exercise. Liam started making big salads with olive oil, grilled chicken, and pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds became his go-to snack. They were rich in magnesium, which helped with muscle relaxation, and zinc, which played a role in tissue repair. Over time, his kitchen evolved into a recovery-friendly zone. He kept a small stash of dark chocolate, 70% cacao or higher, because it was rich in antioxidants and gave him a satisfying treat without relying on processed sweets. Maria's philosophy was clear: eat to heal. No powders, no heavily processed supplements, just food in its most natural form. One rainy afternoon, Liam invited her over to thank her for the advice. He made a post-run meal that pulled from everything he'd learned: grilled salmon, roasted sweet potatoes, a kale salad with pumpkin seeds, and a side of Greek yogurt topped with tart cherries. This, she said, smiling, is exactly how you fuel recovery. As his training continued, Liam started experimenting with seasonal produce. In summer, he used watermelon for hydration and recovery. It was high in citrulline, an amino acid linked to reduced muscle soreness. In winter, he leaned on hearty lentil soups, which provided plant-based protein, fiber, and iron. He noticed that his relationship with food changed. He no longer thought of meals as just calories. Each plate was a tool for repair, a way to set himself up for the next challenge. One evening, after completing his longest run yet, 14 miles, he sat on his porch with a bowl of cherry-topped yogurt. The soreness in his legs was real, but it wasn't the overwhelming ache he used to dread. He felt capable. He felt ready for the next step. When his first half marathon finally came, he wasn't just prepared physically, he was prepared nutritionally. The night before, he ate a simple dinner of baked salmon, quinoa, and roasted vegetables. After crossing the finish line, instead of grabbing the nearest sugary snack, he reached into his bag for a banana and a small container of Greek yogurt. It paid off. His recovery time was faster than ever, and he was back on his feet for a light jog just a few days later. Months after that first painful 10-mile attempt, Liam's fridge looked like a color wheel of recovery foods: the orange of sweet potatoes, the deep green of spinach, the dark red of cherries, the pale pink of salmon. Each item earned its place for a reason. He knew now that the best natural foods for muscle recovery weren't just about preventing soreness, they were about supporting the body's entire repair system. And the best part was, they were delicious. Sometimes, late at night, he'd think about that sore, stiff version of himself who thought recovery came from a plastic-wrapped bar and a bottle of neon liquid. That guy didn't know what salmon tasted like with fresh lemon, or how tart cherries could make a smoothie sing. Now, food was more than fuel. It was the quiet partner that made every run possible.